Bored and Exhausted? John Betjeman. The editor asked an eminent writer for his views on the cinema. The result, as expected, is a chronicle of delusion. I once used to write about films for a London evening paper. It would be presumptuous of me to describe what wrote as criticism. Sometimes I would see 7 or 8 films a week. I also had to visit studios and interview stars. I can honestly say I was happier at school. As for working in the films division of the Ministry of Information, I have rarely felt a bigger cad. Too terrified to leave, for fear I should find myself in something worse, I hung on until I was intrigued out of it. Most people who were there with me will agree that the night raids on London were nothing to the warring careerism, at first personal and later personal and political, which went on in that division during the day. These experiences have left me with a distaste for films but with a certain canniness acquired on the outer fringes of film life. I know, for instance, never to believe what advertisements and trailers say about a film. I know which film critics are likely to enjoy the same films that I do. I know that stars have nothing to do with whether a film is good or not, but that everything depends on the director of the film and that he occupies the same position as the producer of a stage play. So I always try to find out who the director of a film is before I see it. When I ask the woman in the box office who the director of a film is, she does not know. Both she and the cinema manager think I mean the star. Trailers ought to mention directors, but I do not think they generally do. And after directors I look for script writers and cameramen. The agony suffered to acquire this commonplace knowledge about films is not it. I never see another film again. Nevertheless, about once in 2 months I go with the missus, but without the kids, to the pictures in Hungerford. The cinema there is what you would call a family house. One go purely for relaxation when I am fed up with reading second-rate modern books for review, because we are both too tired to get food and wash up, because the house is cold and we have decided to have a meal at an inn. We are not regular patrons and never go if the evening is fine. To come out of the Hungerford cinema having seen Bathing Bells in Technicolor and to gaze across miles of Downs gold in Sancerre, which the boss office of this remote, high-perched family house commands, is to realize the full blasphemy and urban depravity of the film, especially if it is a musical. Genuine farm workers, of course, who never notice landscape in the aesthetic sense, ste no contrast. To come out of a picture gallery of great paintings heightens one's appreciation of the ordinary scene, colors and more intense and more startlingly contrasted, faces more skillfully sculptured, skies, stones, and trees more radiant than they were when we entered the building. To come out into the world after having seen a film is like waking up from a hangover. One is either frightened, doped, or elated according to the intoxicant. Of course, films are an art, if entertainment is an art. How permanent a form of art they are as compared with painting or literature is not, I think, a matter of more than academic importance. To me they are certainly less easy to remember than any other form of creative work. Films are for the exhausted and bored. Boredom is as exhausting as work. Try a little unemployment if you are not used to it. What a relief then to hear a nice rich old lady tell me the story of Cinderella and other well-known folk tales with variations. I don't have to use my imagination. All I need to do is eat potato crisps and watch while she goes on and on dangling situations worse or better than mine before my eyes and either singing to me or holding me with the spell of her story. I think feature films are just popular dreams. They have no propaganda valor whatsoever. They merely put a person into a state of mind to receive propaganda. A Western will so elate an irresponsible youth that, under the spell of what he has seen on the screen, he may drive a trades van too fast and kill children. Other youths will form gangs. A film may make some silly ass think his wife does not understand him. A girl may dress herself up like a tart in order to seem, as she thinks, like some film star. Many girls assume American accents until so do some youths with their eyes too close together and more chin than brain. The effect, however, wears off just as drinks do. Only those who go to the cinema every other night or more often are permanently drunk with fantasy. It is when the party bosses realize that it is when we come out of the cinema we are most vulnerable, it is when this moment comes that we must be careful. Let us beware when they are waiting in the lamplit high road on their little soap boxes, waiting with the telling catchphrase that will play upon the emotions that a film has engendered.